Welcome back to the channel. Pilot the Garage, evidently. If you're here, you know who I am already. I'm Johnny. But anyways, today I got a new toy. And if you're anything of a movie buff, when I say, "What's in the box?" you know what movie I'm referring to. So, if not, Google it, you'll find it. If you're squeamish, don't watch the movie. So, I decided to make a small purchase. What we have here is a wee little guy. So I bought a T3 Turbo. As you can see, it's a big boy. It's the equivalent. Wow, it's a GT 3582, which is they're saying it's a Garrett as far as GT goes, but hey, I paid $100 for it shipped off eBay. I'm not really expecting much, but it's still a tank. This thing's that's probably a 4-inch inlet. The T3 housing, which I haven't pulled the back off yet, but today's episode I am going to clearance the other strut tower and try to get this guy bolted in at least. That's the goal for tonight, which this could take a while. But this is going to suck because I really don't want to cut the car again, but I'm going to have to. So stay tuned and watch me cut my car again. Here goes nothing. Oh. Well, that sure didn't take very long. Just destroyed that blade. Okay. Let's try this blade. Well, evidently there's something at the top up here that doesn't want to be cut. I got a good idea what it is though, but alright, we'll come back to it. This side doesn't want to play very nice. This car is determined to not get cut. Alright, lose my patience. I'll be back. I know this is going to be loud, but I had to resort to the hair grinder. So, got one bolt on the turbo manifold. Got the hole cut strut tire. Oh, here goes nothing. This will determine if I have to cut more out. Gotta unbolt that. that's definitely not going to work. Alright, so let's get this guy. Here, I'll just do it on top of the fender here and show you. So what we have to do is called clocking the turbo. So, just get over here. There are second here, I'll show you what I'm doing. So this front housing, this is where it sits on the turbo. There's 3 bolts here, 3 bolts on the other side. You probably can't tell, but there's a metal flange right here. So what you do is you loosen these up. Don't take them out, just loosen them. And this should allow you to turn the, something's wrong here. We don't have it loosened enough. Should allow you to turn, here it goes. So it allows you to turn this. And we need it to turn up for the moment. So, gives us that. Now, here's where we're going to have fun. In order for this to sit on this manifold where it belongs, it's got to go. It's got to go back to me. All good. Good 3/4 inch to an inch, which is currently inside of here. It's hitting the shock, so it's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do is I want to cut that flange off of that manifold. And we're going to tilt the turbo's got to go up like this. That'll bolt there. It'll be like that. That's probably what we're going to have to do. I guess this is one of the things of getting a cheap turbo manifold, because we're going to have to cut it. Not what I wanted to do tonight, but take it back off. So here's the problem. It's sitting on the engine like this. So this flange right here needs to be turned. It actually needs to almost be level. So the only way to do that is I'm going to have to cut this off, which is the support that sits on top of this. How am I going to do this? I'm going to have to reach in here and cut, but I can't see it. Up underneath this flange, I'm going to have to reach in and cut. I'm going to have to cut it straight off, all but to the back end. And then that'll allow me to take this and pry it up to wherever we need it. And then what I'm going to have to do is reach in there. I'm going to have to weld another plate underneath so this flange is sitting up where it belongs. Yeah. Stay tuned. I'm going to see if I can destroy this. Alright, so here's what I did. So I cut this weld, and I had to cut the brace weld. You can see the line. But anyways, I cut this piece here, as you see my finger on. Oop. You see I cut the whole way back to the very back edge, which allowed me to pick this up. So, let's try this again. Let's get one of these on here so it doesn't fall on me. Okay. Now, let's see how far to whack we are now. Still has to come up. It's actually got to come up pretty far. So, the question is, how far can I pull that up before it actually decides it wants to break? Hope it doesn't come to that, but we'll see here in a second. Should have come up more. See, I think I'm hitting this. Now let's see if it'll go up. There it goes. Okay. It's closer. So better go up. Oh, I just broke the weld on that side. I'm still hitting the see it broke. It's got to go. Man, you still got to go way up. I don't quite know how. My guess is it's going to break off here soon. Well, it definitely made a difference, didn't it? Look at that. It's a lot closer. well be. Okay. 1 second. Let me grab the hardware for the okay, so this will ultimately tell me the actual location of this. So what we're going to do is I'm only going to put, I should put all 4 of them. Okay. Okay, what's keeping me here? Maybe we're only going to put, since that one's going to be hard to get in, let's try 3 of them. Let's try 2 of them. There it is. Now, it's close. Just need it up. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, that gets me bolted in. Now, probably what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to re-weld that manifold once I get my water here. This gives me enough clearance in here. This dipstick will have to, I'll have to modify it somehow. Maybe I can pull it out a little bit and move this bracket around so I can bolt it. Maybe like that. But this will have to get, it'll get turned probably this way. And then it'll get a 90 on it, or 45 or whatever. It'll come out around this way, and then go into the intercooler. But let me get you off the tripod here. Okay, so my hands in the way. So we have clearance for this. We have this one stud down here. I have to get this piece welded back on back. This thing is welded back down. But this gives me enough room for the V-band, the down pipe to go here, and then it'll go down through that hole right there. There's tons of room. That gives me room for the oil drain. Gives me plenty of room for the strut tower. Like I said, the dipstick will have to be the bolts here. Probably what I'll do is I'll spin this, I'll drill a hole in this, spin this around. It'll be like this. And then it'll bolt like that. And as you can see, it now misses the turbo. But yeah, that's in. So let's stick the intake on it. So there we go. It is slowly starting to look like a car. But, all right. Thank you for sticking out with me today and going through this big mess. But hopefully I should have my welder here soon, and then I'll plate that. And I plan on cutting this one out more, so there's more room over on this side. And then once I get the welder in place, here, I'll show you this. So, let me take this nut off the back of this. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's a big gap. I gotta weld this in, I gotta get a piece of pipe. And then what I'm gonna do is this flange down here, I'm going to cut it and then actually turn it around so it will actually be facing back in this hole. So as of right now, it is facing right into this strut tower. So what I'll do is I will cut this completely off, and then it'll adjust it this way so it'll actually be sticking. It'll sit right here. But until I get my welder, I'm kind of stuck with that. But I will clean up this bracket right here. I'll cut it and bend it down and tack weld this in place. That way this will stay where it needs to be. But again, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.